So welcome to Simply Ethics YouTube classes. So we have started with the UPSC CSC GS4 paper for the civil services examination, GS4, which is the ethics paper. So we will be doing the complete syllabus through this series of lectures. So you can see the complete list of lectures on the YouTube channel. Now we are proceeding with the socialization. So in the fourth video also we covered the socialization part. So this is the next part of the socialization, which is the social control. So we have covered this is the fifth lecture. So we have already covered the four lectures. So let's proceed to the social control. So what is social control? So this is also one of the mechanism of socialization. Mechanism of socialization. What is it exactly? See, it is very clear from the two words, social and control. So what is it? Society wants to control the socialization of an infant to an adult. So this is the process of socialization. Here this is an infant. So through the socialization process, it will become an adult, the participating member of society. This member will participate in the society. And this particular infant is not participating because cognitive development has not happened yet. Physically, the child is not able to participate. So all these things are yet able to develop. So this is the process of socialization. Now what society wants? Society wants to control this process of socialization. How it will control? That will call the social control. What is the purpose of social control? Let's assume society has fixed the path of socialization from point A to point B. This is the path of socialization society has already predetermined, which is almost fixed for generations. For previous generations also society has fixed this path. But what happens? As individuals grow, they tend to deviate from this path for various reasons, for various good and bad reasons. So you can mention for various good and bad reasons, the growing individual will tend to deviate. So this is the deviation. So when this deviation happens, with this deviation, society is not comfortable. That is the biggest issue. When a particular individual is deviating from the predetermined path, society will not feel comfortable, and through the process of social control, society will try to pull you towards the predetermined path. So that is the social control. Then there are various methods which society utilizes to practice social control. So what are those methods? We'll see. So first we'll see what is the social control. So we have seen this is a mechanism to prevent deviation. So this is a mechanism to prevent deviation. So in detail we will see what is this. Social control is the mechanism in the form of patterns of pressure through which society maintains social order and cohesion. So there is a particular social order in every society. So what is the desire of the society to maintain that social order? So what will society do? Society will utilize certain tactics through which it will put or exert some pressure on the individuals so that the society can maintain the social order. And what is the psychology of society? The psychology of society is that it wants this social order to remain till perpetuity. The society always thinks that this social order should not change with time. So it should perpetuate with time. So but there will be various elements in the society which will be demanding the change. And who is pressurizing this social order? It depends. So it depends on the scale where you are talking about. If you are talking about family, or if you are talking about a small society, so it will depend, or it will depend based on the various groups also. There will be various groups which will be, see, in a society, like consider the Indian society. In Indian society there are various groups. There are caste groups, there are religious groups, then there will be gender identity, then there will be occupational identity. Okay, so these are the various groups, and based on the position of power, if you talk at macro level, if we talk about at macro level in society, the powerful group will try to maintain the status quo. Like the upper caste will always tend to maintain the caste system, but the lower caste will demand that caste system should change for equality. And again, then within a particular, if we talk about at micro level, in a smaller group, there will be different elements, like patriarchy will be also putting some control, or gender role also will be having some social control. So these are the various agents and their ways of maintaining the social control. So both social control can be good and bad as well. So never about society we should discuss all the aspects. What is good and what is bad, we should discuss all the aspects in balanced way. So now we have seen, this is the way through which society maintains the order. So now these mechanisms establish and enforce a standard of behavior for members of a society, and include a variety of components such as shame, coercion, force, restraint, and persuasion. So excuse me. So these are the components which are used by the society. So these components we will see in the next slide in detail. There will be good and bad ways, like how the society tend to exert the pressure. So social control is exercised through individuals and institutions. See, these are individuals, like in a family there will be some social control. Through institutions also there will be social control. Institutions of caste, institutions of marriage, institutions of then there will be formal institutions like law and order, courts, etc. So there are various ways through which social control will be exercised, ranging from family to peer, and to organizations such as state, religious organizations, schools, and workplace. These are the various levels of social control. Okay, so through these levels you can easily, this is a very observational thing, so you can observe this very easily. So then we'll go regardless of its source. The goal and social control is to maintain conformity to the established norm. So this is the main purpose of social control. What is that? To maintain the conformity to established norms. So when the norms are established, the society will tend to maintain those norms, and then there will be conflicts also, because whoever is in like position of being exploited, that group, that particular individual will raise their voice. So then there will be conflict because of social control. So now we'll see the social control is typically employed by group members in response to anyone it considers deviant, problematic, threatening or undesirable, with the goal of the ensuring conformity. So this is about controlling the behavior which are deviant. You are deviating from the predetermined path, or you are creating problem in the society, or you are threatening the social order. So these will be the methods, or these will be the reasons for which society tends to practice social control. So this is about the social control. Now social control can be formal and informal. In informal and formal, you know, there will be law and order through state, police and courts. So there will be statutes or rules and regulations, laws, constitution. So these are the formal means through which the society agrees, okay, let's come to an agreement that there will be some common standard for social control. These are the common standard which are applicable to everyone, at least in democracy. If a country is not a democratic country, then there will be some inequality under the rule and laws as well. But in a democratic country, for these formal rules, there will be equality. Okay. After that, there are informal rules or informal ways through which society controls. These are, what are these? These are the things which we see on our everyday basis. Like these are the social values, customs, norms. Then informal sanctions: shame, ridicule, sarcasm, criticism. So these are also the formal sanctions. Extreme sanctions: discriminations, exclusion, ostracization. So these are the extreme processes, extreme social control tools, we can say, which are used by the society. Discrimination is well known, like caste discrimination is there, gender discrimination is there. On the lower caste, upper caste will put unlimited limitations, like limitations on various things, on their mobility, on their marriage relations, or on their religious practices. On many things, these upper caste will put sanctions on these lower castes. In genders also, there are gender specific roles we have predetermined in our society. So these are the means through which society discriminates. Exclusion or ostracization are the process when a particular group is deviating from the larger group will tend to boycott that group. So this is the exclusion. So this group will get isolated. So for example, in a village community, if there is a family which is not following the social order of that village, the entire village tend to exclude that particular family from everything. They will not allow them to use the public facilities like well, temple, etc. So this is the example of exclusion. Then there is reward and punishment. Yes, what is the reward and punishment? Punishment, we have seen, this is the exclusion or ostracization is the punishment. For reward, we know if you are following the exact social order, you will be praised or you will be recognized in a particular time frame with your achievement. So that is the reward and punishment. So we'll see what is the purpose or need of the social control. First of all, we can say the purpose can be good as well, good and bad as well. So both the purpose are possible, but the main purpose is of the social control is to prevent deviation. So society wants to prevent deviation. That is the main purpose. Now we'll see what are the needs, why there is a need for social control. To maintain social order, there is a particular social order. If we consider the traditional societies, there will be a social order based on Varna system, or based on the caste system, or based on the occupational hierarchy, or based on the class system. So these are the social orders. So society wants to maintain these social orders. So what will be the mechanism? Mechanism will be the social control. Regulate individuals. So the individuals, while they are socializing, these social controls will regulate their behavior. So on every moment of deviation, the society will show why the particular individual that he is deviating from the path, and they will try to pull that individual on that path. So that is the regulation of the individual. So individuals will be regulated through this social control. Compliance with the society, again, these are the same different ways through which we are saying that how to maintain the social order. So if you comply with the society, then you will maintain the social order. Maintaining social unity, solidarity and conformity. But this can be of various meaning. Like if you are maintaining a solidarity, but the solidarity can be for a smaller group, and the another group will not be having any solidarity with the group A, if group B we talk. So that social control for a particular group A will be, social control will be different, and for group B will be having the different means of social control. So unity and solidarity will be attained, but not on a universal level. So unity will not be achieved on a universal level. Unity will not be on universal level or on on the basis of entire society. So the solidarity will be within a homogeneous group. Like again, this example is very much suitable for this. Like for caste system, there is a particular caste A, and then there is a particular caste B. So both will be having several separate social control. And then the bigger picture, there will be another method of social control through which these castes are placed in the hierarchy. So that is the maintaining the social solidarity and conformity. So conformity will be better. Instead of social, you can say unity and solidarity is achieved at a subgroup level, and conformity is achieved at both subgroup and the main group level. Okay. So to provide social sanctions, again, social orders are ensured through social sanctions. Like social sanctions are, you should not go against the social norms. Those are the social sanctions. It's needed for orderly social life. Yes, again, see, this is social order. So this is the repetitive point. Continuity in the social norms to maintain social order and discipline. So these are all the points why we need social control. Now there will be certain negative dimensions as well. Okay, so first we'll see this is the social control. Social control can be negative and positive. Positive in terms of if a particular person is disturbing the society, if that person is antisocial. Antisocial means he is creating trouble in the society, or he is a criminal of criminal mindset, or he is creating trouble for women, or he is creating trouble, or he is not respecting the law and order. So that person should be controlled to maintain the peace in the society. So that is the positive way through which society can maintain peace in the society. Then what are the negative ways? What are the negative aspects of social control? Negative aspects will come into picture when society tends to discriminate based on various grounds. So that is the negative aspect of social control. So these are the negative social dimensions of social control. You can say parda system and burqa system. Parda is followed in Hindus, burqa is followed in the Muslim. So many the groups from within these religion also, they also criticize the system like this is a discrimination on women. So these are the tools of social control. Again, avoidance. What is the avoidance? See, there is a tendency in traditional families that the daughter-in-law and father-in-law will avoid direct face-to-face communication. So these conservative means of social controls are very much prevalent in our society. So again, then lack of freedom for women, that is very much true. Restriction on women from moving out. These are the almost all the gender discriminations. Then there will be caste barriers. Even the constitution has provided under the part 3rd for equality, but still there are caste barriers, and these are the invisible caste barriers which are being practiced and which are preventing the lower caste to mobilize themselves socially and economically as well. So these are the caste barriers. Untouchability is a very sad reality of Indian society, had been a very sad reality of Indian society, and still practiced on we have seen these incidences in our news or newspapers, or maybe you may have witnessed in your personal life how traditional or conservative people tend to follow these negative means of social control. Commensality and connubialism. What is this commensality? It is very much known in the form of intercaste dining is prohibited, was prohibited. Nowadays this is happening at a smaller scale as well. See, there was a very much example from a government school where the cook was Dalit, and the upper caste parents were infuriated with this Dalit cook, and they stopped sending their children to school. So then the district collector came and he ate that food and he gave a positive message. So we can say these things are happening. Still these things are happening. Even our constitution has provided for the equality. So intercaste marriages are no prohibited as well, are not prohibited by law. I am not saying these are prohibited by law. Not prohibited by law, but in the social order these things are practiced. So people tend to follow these conservative rules from the past, and these are very much ingrained in their minds, and still they follow these practices, and these practices are very much strong in rural areas. So we know intercaste marriage is a very big issue. The Khap panchayats are very much famous for these intercaste marriage restrictions. So these are the part of negative social control dimensions: temple entry, mosque entry restrictions on certain groups including women of certain age. So this is a very famous case of Sabrimala temple entry, and there is another case going on for mosque entry for women. So these are the negative means of social control which are not at all good for a growing society. For a developing and advancing society, these dimensions should definitely be removed from the society, and we should follow what our constitution preaches. Even if you are not leave the constitution, it should be we know that equality is a human right, so that should be ensured for everybody, and especially for these different groups which are being discriminated for ages, like women, the SC/ST group. So there shall be equality, there shall be established an equal opportunity for all these groups for an advancing society. So these are the means of social control. So we have seen what is the social control, what are the needs, and what are the different positive and negative dimensions of social control. So in the next slide, in the next video, we will move on to the next topic, that is what are the agents of this social control and socialization. These are family, society, and educational institutions. So keep watching and follow the Simply Ethics YouTube channel, and you can follow the entire syllabus wise. So this I'm doing syllabus wise coverage of the entire syllabus. So go through the list of lectures. So you can, this will be a systematic program. So I'll be proceeding as per a scheme, that is the UPSC syllabus. So I'll be following entirely, and from point to point I'll be covering the UPSC syllabus, what is given in the UPSC Civil Service Examination notification. So thank you, and keep watching, stay connected, and get benefited from these videos.